Hello guys, I'm Savvy and welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video. In this one, we are going to be going back to Sarnus, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not going to be going through the wormhole, but we are going to be going around in an orbit of Sarnus. And what we're going to be bringing to Sarnus is a space station. And this one is going to orbit really close to Sarnus. And by really close, I mean pretty much skidding by its atmospheric height, which is 580,000 meters or 580 kilometers. Um, I actually got the suggestion from a comment on a post that I did recently on my community section. And I'll put up their name right now, and this comes from Spider Pig 20, and they say extremely low orbit Sarnus space station. And I'm just like, you know what? Sure, let's do it. So I'm coming up with all kinds of different designs here and everything, trying to think of what works, what doesn't, because I was trying to go for like a looping kind of thing for both sides, but it almost worked, it almost connected, but not really. So I decided to go with a more simple approach by using adapters there that you can transfer between each one, and then those storage containers as well that you can move around in. And then on the bottom, I added that other storage thing. Now, you see the solar panels that I put there, or the photovoltaic panels? Keep in mind that there are plenty of them that they obviously are able to go out because, initial sort of uh, interaction where you have them extend, but a lot of them don't retract, and I'm just gonna leave that there for now, because then once we get to the actual part, then I'll explain everything. I also have this video at 4 times speed, so it's a little bit faster than usual, only because this journey is pretty long. This journey is pretty long in the game itself. If you have the most optimal kind of, I was going to say interaction, but if you have the most optimal encounter with Sarnus, then it'll probably be over 4 years to get there. But if it's not, it'll take around 6. But if you're really not optimal, probably up to 8 to 10 years potentially. And Sarnus's sphere of influence is quite large. It is actually in the outer planets mod, if you have this added. Jool normally in vanilla is the largest body in the Kerbal system. However, when you have the outer planets mod added to your game, which all the mods will be down in the description box down below, um, it is now the largest planet. It becomes the largest planet, which is a little bit weird because you'd think that Jool would still be the largest because Jool is based off of Jupiter, and then the outer planets are Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But no, Sarnus actually becomes the largest one because I think for Jool, the atmospheric height is around, oh gosh, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 300,000 or 250,000 meters, between 250 to 300,000. I think it's one of those. I'm not really sure, or somewhere in between. When Sarnus is 580. So yeah, it's a large body. It also has a lot of moons around it as well, which I would love to do a Tecto mission to Sarnus. And I'm talking about this stuff when, like, you have this huge rocket here, have this huge rocket. And actually, if you noticed, I had no crew, so I just went to the astronaut complex. I got more because all the other missions that I've done, uh, I forgot to bring the Kerbals back that I've done. Jebediah, Bob, Bill, and Valentina. I forgot to bring them back. But that's okay. We got all kinds of new Kerbals to do this mission with us. All the Kerbals are going all over the solar system, pretty much. So that's going to be it's going to be pretty much colonized. Every inch of this Kerbal system is going to be colonized. So one thing that you probably noticed at the beginning when I was building building the rocket and the space station is I had to put the lander can upside down. Just because of the way that the door was gonna be, because I wanted the hatch to face down. Also, I messed up there with the because a bit of the fuel tank ran into my rocket and blew up the bottom part. And then I also forgot to change it back to reversed. So I have it upside down technically, but I reversed it with how it's going to be controlled. And it's a bit awkward because instead of going to the right to do the turn on the nav ball, I have to go to the left because of it being reversed. So it was a little bit wonky at first, but I got the hang of it. And one way to fix that is just spin around, which I do when we reach orbit, or actually when we reach space. Also, it's just ridiculous looking at this huge fairing that's carrying this payload here. That's the thing about the space stations. Like, I I should probably make more vertical ones, but I like having some parts that jut out because we want, a large station. Part of me also, if I do stuff like that, I should just not put it in a fairing and just kind of go with it. I also put a heat shield at the top there because of the fact that we are going to be doing some aero braking, because I realized as we go through this that my delta V is very low, very, very low, because all we have is just three stages. We had the asparagus stages go off, we have the bottom stage here, and then we just have the top stage, which yeah, not good. Also, I love those photovoltaic panels. I love them dearly. Also, I had to keep messing with the with my trajectory here because I thought I was in the right position and then I wasn't. And yeah, I think I sped up time 3 times in order for me to get to the right position. Yeah, because the last mission that I did, obviously Sarnus is not in the right place. There's all of our other there's the rest of our crew just going around the Kerbal system, which is funny. They just got flung out of nowhere. But yeah, eventually I do get an encounter with this, and that's why I also have this at 4 times speed. I mean, I could have cut this out, but really I want to show you guys the progress throughout this mission because it is very important that you guys see this so that way you don't make the same mistakes that I do. Because I mean, if you saw the recording of the rocket that I built before, and I'm gonna keep it professional, like I could show like bloopers and stuff, but these missions take so long. And I think I was sitting here, and I'm still sitting here, obviously editing this, but this recording took 2 takes, and that took a span of probably like 2 hours just to try to do this. Oh, it's crazy. But this mission was actually quite successful. That's why it's uploaded. That's why it's here. So, oh man, quite something, if I do say so myself. But luckily, this bottom stage, or the final stage here, is able to get us to Sarnus and also do some cool things at the end here. But we are finally going to be on our way, and then we just have to adjust our trajectory again. Just make sure that we're going on the side where we're able to slow down the most. And I'm trying to get a good, like a decent height in around Sarnus because I don't want to go too low, because if you go too low, then you will get into orbit, but it might bring you down too fast where you're not going to be able to correct yourself. And not too high so that we don't slow down enough and then I have to use the rest of my fuel to do what I need to do. So I just kind of adjusted it. And it was around like, I think 500,000. I believe it was like 504, 506,000. Um, but yeah, we adjust there. And at first, I think this is too far away for my yeah, this is where I bring it in a little bit. But then I started warping. And this is the part that takes so long. And I do have better time warp, which allows for you to speed up time even more, but for some reason in my game it does not want to cooperate with me. So I'm gonna, I keep saying this and I never do it. I say that I want to fix that problem, but then I never do it. I never do it, where I just uninstall and reinstall it into my game. One of these days I'll do it, but today is probably not the day. Anyway, we're almost there, and like I said, the 4 times speed is very useful for this because I was literally sitting here for probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just waiting for me to get to Sarnus. I mean, if I went to Erlem, Night on, Block, I mean, that's going to take even longer. So, I'd pick it up my phone, just, looking back and forth between the game and whatnot. But yeah. But anyway, I'm actually going to be leaving it off to the real me that talks during this phase, where we're getting close to the atmosphere. So I'm going to leave it to the real Savvy. So I will see you guys in just a second. All right. So here we are, we're dropping down into Sarnus's atmosphere, and I realized that and I mentioned this earlier, that I can't retract these panels, which is kind of annoying, but I think we'll be okay, even without them. At least, I just want to get this into orbit, so these are going to start burning up. And I don't have much fuel left, so I just want to be able to get this into orbit as best as possible. Yep. And there it goes, unfortunately. And that's gonna help us a little bit with getting into orbit, because we're slowing down. And Sarnus is huge, so it's going to take us a little bit until we actually get back out of its atmosphere. So we have a little bit until we need to pretty much burn, and I'm definitely not turning around until I get high enough to where that's not going to destroy my engines and the rest of my rocket, or the rest of my space station. Because I should have enough now that I've slowed down quite a bit to be able to get myself into orbit. I mean, we'll see once we get out of the atmosphere. And we're out. It looks like the heat shield's still kind of warm, but I think we're fine. Yeah, we're in the clear. It could just be the lighting as well. The lighting could have something to do with it. But now, we're gonna burn, use up the rest of our fuel here, at least as much as we can, get us into orbit at least. And I'm trying to get like a pretty close orbit here. And there we go, there's our orbit. But I'm not really sure how close we can get. I mean, I could go back through, although we're gonna run out of power. Because I didn't put batteries on this thing, which is kind of funny that I forgot to do that. I can... Oh, I can't... I have to jettison that, which is unfortunate. I could go back around and lower our orbit again, potentially. And use the rest of the fuel to... Maybe use the rest of the fuel. Yeah, because we're going to run out of power pretty fast, I think. Electric charge is fine. Where are we? Okay, we're right here. Alright, I'm just going to go in orbit around Sarnus. Make sure we're facing... Oh, right, I'm in creative mode. Well, no, creative mode can also be affected by this, but our charge is 100, so... Oh, we're getting charge back somehow. Do I have something in here that's giving us a charge back? Does something have like a built-in charger or something? I mean, I'm happy about that. So I guess I did something right after all. Alright, but now we're going to head back down into the atmosphere. And we're going to see how much that brings it down by. Just slowly watching it go down. Because if I need to, I could do a little bit more arrow braking. So that way we can get... Oh, I mean, it's significantly bringing down our orbit here. So I might have to do this a few times. I just want to at least get through this part here. Oh. Getting a slate encounter. That's not what I want. Oh, thank you. There we go, thank you. Get me out of slate. But I might be able to do this maybe one more time. And that should get me really close to Sarnus. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut a bit here and then go back around one more time. And just in case, I will quick save, because this is bringing down our apoapsis by a few million each time. So it brought down a few million once, it's bringing down a few million again. So I just want to be on the safe side. So I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. And this took actually quite a while, but I am really close to Sarnus right now. Pretty close, but I am going to bring down my apoapsis here. So I'm going to go back around to my periapsis, and I want to get it just slightly below, or not below, but just slightly above 580,000 meters, because that is what we're looking for here. And I want to get like right on the money right there. There we go. Just about right on the money, I'd say. And that just needs to be slightly above 580,000. I have decreased my engine's power, or the engine's thrust, at least some of them, not all of them, but some of them. But this is really, really close. And this is something that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Alright, let's get to our Apo real quick. And we're gonna burn again. Just a little bit. Right there. And there it is. There's our beautiful, beautiful, extremely close Sarnus orbit and our space station that goes around it. Oh man. Well, the good news is that I can actually jettison this this thing. Unfortunately, we don't have the solar panels anymore. However, we are able to generate power somehow. I'm not really sure how, but we are able to do that. So I'm just going to jettison that. That's going to go bye-bye. And we can just float around now. So let's go ahead and get our pilot here, or whomever we're going to be looking through. And we're going to unbuckle. And we're just going to look around the space station. So we obviously have the side rooms here, with a lot of doors to open. But here we go. Here's a room here. You can open this hatch. And this will take us EVA. But we can also just look out the window. We could see the rings of Sarnus, and we could see Kerbal, and there's Sarnus right there with the clouds. We can actually see the clouds up close, which is pretty nice. And then if we go back through here, we pretty much have the other side as well. Going through all these doors, all these hatches, including this one as well, which doesn't really do much. And then we can go this way, which takes us to the bottom. And here we are. And we can look out as well. We can look out back here. We can still see Sarnus back there. And we could see Sarnus behind us as well. Ooh, look at those storms. Those are really cool. I like that. Beautiful. And then if we want to, we can actually go all the way to the top, open up these hatches, and we're in the cockpit. Look at that. And we can see Sarnus from the cockpit here. And it's clouds. Like, we're super close to this thing. It's ridiculous. Wow. But that is going to be it for this Kerbal Space Program video. If you guys did enjoy this, be sure to hit that like button. I would really appreciate that so much. This actually took a long time to do because there was another recording that I did, and it did not end up working out. So I had to create a whole new space station design and a whole new rocket as well to go along with it. So I'm really glad that this actually worked out in the end. You can also hit that subscribe button as well because that lets me know that you guys enjoy the content on the channel and would like to see more. I'd like to give a shout out to all of my channel members that I'll put up on the screen right now. Thank you for becoming a member, and if you guys are interested in using exclusive emotes during live streams as well as checking out exclusive content on the channel, be sure to hit that join button down below and become a member today. I've been Savvy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. See you later.